This next clip is the applicant's main argument in regards to question number 3 of the central question.
The Treaty on Principles Governing the Activities of States and the Exploration and Use of Outer States, including the Moon and Other Celestial Bodies, Article 4, states the Moon and other celestial bodies shall be used by all states party to the treaty exclusively for peaceful purposes. The establishment of military bases, fortifications, installations, and the testing of any types of military weapons and the use of any military maneuvers in space would be prohibited. However, the use of military for peaceful purposes or other scientific research shall not be prohibited. The UN General Assembly interprets this to say that military personnel shall be legally allowed in space only if they are there for peaceful purposes or scientific research. If the United States sent military personnel in space in order to gain control of outer space territory or to gain control over other countries, then this would be found in violation of Article 4 of the Treaty of the Moon. President Trump announced that he has plans to create a military space force that would be a subset of the Department of Defense. Trump's proposed plan completely changes what the current Space Command of the United States does. Currently, the Space Command of the United States is located in the Air Force branch under the Air Force branch in the Department of Defense. However, Trump's claim it is used for peaceful exploration of space and to rescue astronauts in danger. However, Trump's proposed plan would completely change that, and by making the Space Force a sixth in their own branch of the Department of Defense. Now, some claim that Article 4 states that a military presence for peaceful reasons allows the U.S. to be able to send troops to space. However, it all comes down to Trump's purpose in doing this. Trump does not have peaceful purposes because he claims, quote, "It is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space," end quote. Given that Article 4 of the Treaty of the Moon states that military personnel are not allowed to be either on the moon or in space unless they are there for scientific or peaceful purposes, then Trump's new plan to create a separate branch of the military for military dominance in space can be found in violation of international outer space law.
This next clip is the respondent's 30-second argument.
The applicant stated that the expansion of the Space Force task and Trump's quote about dominance in space is reason enough to find them in violation of international space law, but this is not true because Trump is not declaring war on anyone. This is not an act of war. There's not an aggressor state in which they wish to pursue. Trump is merely asking for an increased presence in space so that war does not happen.
This final clip is the applicant's 30-second rebuttal.
The respondent stated that Trump is merely just asking for an increased presence in space and that it is for peaceful purposes. However, this is not true because of the extension of the Department of Defense in that sixth branch. If Trump were to keep increase the amount of numbers in space, this would be different, but the fact that they are creating a completely separate Department of Defense for reason of space domination goes against Article 4.